Hello everyone. We are final year engineering students from University of Technology Malaysia. My name is HIUNG and these are my fellow teammates. Today, we would like to talk about balancing success and happiness. As students who are about to graduate, it is undeniable that along our journey of pursuing our careers, we often dream about being fairly successful in future in order to somehow guarantee that we may have a happier life in future. However, in reality, success does not always promise happiness. Very often than not, being successful means to sacrifice lots and lots of free time to work on and maintain our businesses. Or, if being paid extra is how you define success, you may work the extra hours just to get those sweet overtime pay. Now, speaking of definition, what it means to be successful is also highly subjective, because some people actually think that if we get to live a happier life, that already means success. So the question is, how exactly are we able to achieve success while maintaining a happy life? This presentation is based on an article written on page 617 of this book, and it uses John Lewis Partnership, also known as JLP, as its example. Besides, there are 5 interesting questions listed on page 618, which we had already answered in our full case study report. So, for the purpose of this presentation, we will only be diving into the second question, which is, considering the goal-setting theory, how do we think the John Lewis Partnership structure will affect the setting and achievement of challenging individual goals? Now, without further ado, I would like to invite my fellow teammates to present their findings. So, stay tuned.
Hello everyone, I'm SAAD and today we're going to be doing a case study on balancing success and happiness. When I say the term balancing success and happiness, it immediately illustrates a picture of a seesaw in equilibrium at the back of your mind, where both sides are in constant conflict to come out on top of one another. Work on one side and the rest of your life on the other side. And this is supposed to be the norm, trying to balance out the amount of time each spent on each side of the seesaw, the amount of time spent on your work and the amount of time spent on trying to be happy. People who try this approach often resort to efficient time management methods to juggle between work and life. However, such methods often fall short, and this is not an ideal way to seek the way of balancing success and happiness. In this case study, we look at such instance where John Lewis Partnership JLP came up with an alternative solution for their employees to pursue both work and happiness in a better way. And the secret of that lies in making the employees a partner of the company they are working for. In doing so, it not only gives those employees a sense of responsibility as they own a part of the company, but it also greatly compensates for their hard work by sharing the profits made by the company in the first place. And this all started in 1929, 65 years later after John Spade Lewis opened his first business. He believed that business should be balanced by the happiness of the employees, and that is why JLP employees were paid 17% more than average employees. This sense of partnership among employees was not only created through monetary value, but also with political power within the company, where the employees had a say in where the profits should be spent and about their pension funds. John Lewis, through his business, gave his employees a voice and always encouraged them to think for themselves, and in doing so created a system where the staff could not only see what's good for them but good for the business as well. And This is how John Lewis tried creating a system where people could not only balance their success but also their happiness.
Hi, I'm HAKIMI. This system works as can be seen from line 27 of this case application. In an article by Guardian newspaper, the employees of JLP are shown to have a sense of belonging to the company. Even among those who retired, they were motivated, well compensated, and stayed with the business twice more than average employees from other industries. Nowadays, JLP is not alone who pursues the system of employee ownership. Others are starting to see its value and follow in its footsteps. According to the Employee Ownership Association, this system is being implemented 10% more each year as time goes by. In a world run by capitalists, this way of business may not catch on 100%, but business that have a shared feel of providing a balance of work and happiness are sure to implement this system with open arms. The disadvantage of this form of organizational ownership is that everyone has a say. As a result, decision making is generally a time-consuming process because the company must listen to a large number of people and their concerns. The decision-making procedures of an organization run by senior management can be substantially faster. As a result, a company like JLP is slower and may suffer in a fast-paced sector or market. This can be a successful method, but it will take a long time. Besides that, people frequently approach problems from their own priorities. This will cause harm to the company's interest and may be resulting in avoidable losses owing to a lack of professional expertise judgment.
Hi, once again, I am Ha Hao Ong and I would like to walk you through the 14 jargons that we found in the article. Now, first and foremost, what does jargon even mean? According to Cambridge English Dictionary, the word jargon actually means special words and phrases that are used by particular groups of people, especially in their work. So what are the examples of jargons? Now let's find out. Retail. As a noun, retail means the activity of selling goods to the public, usually in shops. Retail outlets are shops that sell their goods. For example, there are 40 H&M retail outlets in Malaysia, so it literally means H&M has 40 shops in Malaysia. Shareholder. A shareholder is a person who owns a share or shares in a company and therefore gets part of the company's profits and the right to vote on how the company is operated. In the meantime, a share is a part of the company in which if we buy it, then we own it. Hence, we are able to get the company's profit as well. Capitalist. A capitalist is someone who has a large amount of money invested in a certain business in hopes of getting profits. A capitalist is also considered as someone who firmly believes in capitalism, whereby the property, business and industry are controlled by private owners or the people rather than the government, with the purpose of making a profit, of course. Next, enterprise. An enterprise is an organization, especially a business, or a difficult and important plan, especially one that will earn money. So, a capitalist enterprise is an organization or a business owned by a capitalist. Now, trading. We've all heard about this word, and it generally means the activity of buying and selling goods and services. But in terms of the stock market, trading means the buying and selling of shares and money. A stock market is a marketplace where we buy and sell the shares of a business in order to get some profit. Now, we've come to the sixth jargon of today, which is establish. In the text, when John Lewis Partnership or JLP was established in 1929, it means that the company or organization was started in 1929 and it will live on for a long time. Next, insubstantial. Insubstantial is the word to describe being not enough or not strong enough. In the article, it is said that the rewards of the business were insubstantial. So it means that the rewards are not strong enough or the rewards are weak. Now, what is democratically elected? So when something is done democratically, it means that it is done by the will of the people instead of the government, usually through voting. Whereas to be elected is to be chosen for a particular job. Therefore, when someone or some people in an organization are democratically elected, it means that they are chosen by the people through voting. Next, pension. In Bahasa Melayu, it is called pencen. So a pencen is an amount of money paid regularly by the government or a private sector to a person who doesn't work anymore because they are too old or have become ill. So that's why it is also called retirement fund. Now, begrudgingly. Begrudgingly actually means unwillingly, very often because there is no choice. So in the article, it is said that a lady employee, she loved working at John Lewis Partnership so much that she would only leave unwillingly when another company would pay her twice as much as she was having. Next up, per annum. This word actually means per year, but it is a term used in business when referring to an amount that is produced, sold, or spent per year. Now, this is the 12th jargon of today, which is stake. A stake is a share or a financial involvement in something such as a business. So for instance, if Jason is holding 40% stake of the company, it means that he is 40% involved in that company. So Jason can also be called a stakeholder. Next, productivity. Productivity usually means the rate at which a company or country makes goods, usually judged in connection with the number of people and the amount of materials necessary to produce the goods. But it can also be used to describe the ability of a student or employee to get his or her work done in a certain amount of time. Now, last but not least, share price. As mentioned in the definition of shareholder, a share is a part of the company that we can buy, hold, or sell for profit and interest. Hence, the share price is the price in which the company sells its shares to the public. Okay, that's all for jargons. So now my fellow teammates will continue this presentation by answering the question in the book. So let's have a look.
Hi, my name is Hui Jun Wei, and I'm going to explain about the case application solution. The question that we choose is question 2, which is considering the goal setting theory. How do you think this partnership structure will affect the setting and achievement of challenging individual goals? So first of all, before we answer the question, let us understand about what is goal setting theory and what have been stated by it. According to goal setting theory, making detailed and quantifiable goals is more effective than setting ambiguous goals. This theory has been developed by Edwin A. Locke in 1968 in his article Towards a Theory of Task Motivation and Incentive. According to Locke, employees are more motivated by well-defined goals and constructive feedback. They are also more likely to achieve these goals if they are clear and measurable. Locke underlined the need of defining clear goals as well as the reality that employees work best when they are faced with difficult objectives. This is the 5 goal setting principles, which is clarity, challenge, commitment, feedback, and task complexity. Clarity. Clarity means that clear and defined objectives are required. There's a significantly lower possibility of misunderstanding when personnel are aware of project objective, and timeframes. Next is challenge principle. Challenge principle stated that goals should be harder enough to keep people engaged and motivated while completing the tasks required to achieve them. Goals that are excessively boring or simple demotivate people, resulting in a lower level of achievement satisfaction. Next, commitment. Commitment means that from the start, employees must be comprehensive and support the goal they have been allocated. Employees who do not believe they are dedicated to the goals are less likely to enjoy the process and as a result achieve the goals. Feedback. The goal setting theory included feedback as a key component. Throughout the goal achieving process, regular feedback should be provided to ensure the task continue on track to meet the goal. Last but not least, task complexity. Task complexity principle stated that goals should be broken down into smaller goals. Once each smaller goal is achieved, a review should be performed to update the employee on the overall progress towards the larger goal.
Hi, my name is HIUNG. This will be representations on the goal setting theory. The goal setting theory has its limitations as well as its advantages. So now I'm going to introduce the limitations of goal setting theory. First, occasionally, the organization aims and managerial goals are at odds. When goals conflict induces incompatible action drift, it has a negative impact on the performance of the employees. The second limitation would be, it is very difficult and complex goals stimulate riskier behavior of the employees. And the third limitations would be, if the individual lacks the abilities and the competencies to carry out the actions required to achieve the objective, the goal setting process may fail, resulting in poor performance. Now we will move on to the advantages of a goal setting theory. First, the goal setting theory is a technique which is used to raise incentives for the employees to complete work quickly and effectively. The second advantage of goal setting theory would be, it improves performance through increasing motivations and effort, as well as increasing and improving the quality of feedback. Now, I'll move on to the second slide that I'm going to present here. So, this is the solution for the case application, which is number 2. So, according to the goal setting theory, having precise and attainable goals inspires employee. It is a notion that states that setting defined, measurable goals is more effective than setting ambiguous ones. There are 5 basic elements of setting effective objectives, according to the paper, towards a theory of task motivation and incentive. The first rule is that the aim should be explicit and obvious. Employees will be more aware of project objectives and the deadlines as a result of this, and there will be fewer misunderstandings. The goal should be sufficiently demanding to keep personnel motivated, according to the second guideline. Besides that, employees should also understand and support the goal they have indeed been given from the beginning. Apart from that, regular feedback should be provided throughout the goal achieving process to ensure that the tasks continue on track to achieve the aim. Finally, The goals should be split down into individual objectives. So these are the principles which can be called as the 5 basic elements of setting the objectives. Now, we'll move on to the second paragraph. Goal setting theories disclose us to the connection between the representatives and the achievement. Since the workers are thinking positive, noble cause and input of the down-to-earth objective. If these factors are considered setting goals, then it motivates employees and helps them perform better. It may take a long time to become a successful man. In this instance, the component in charge of administrations may experience some initial confusion, since people may have different ideas about their goals and how they relate to the corporation. However, in the long run, with proper administration, each employee's objective can be aligned with the organization goal, making a more significant propelling variable. That's all from me. Thank you, and thanks for watching this.
To conclude, even though it might not be perfect, John Lewis created a system whereby the employees were encouraged to voice out and think for themselves. As a result, the employees of JLP were able to strike a good balance between success and happiness. Next, jargons are actually not unusual things. With some effort, they can easily be learned and used to convey our messages in a more precise way. Besides, although everybody sets different goals, each employee's objectives can be aligned with the organization's goal through the help of a proper administration. Now, that is the end of our presentation today. We hope that it has been informative to you all. Thanks for watching, and may you strike the balance between your success and your happiness one day. See you next time.